biggest South Asian media group, Y Media.
Hello and welcome to all of our viewers. मैं हूँ Riya Khan with Y Media. We have here today Zahid Syed with Orooj Financial, and he will be giving us some tips on estate planning. I'm actually going to hand it over to Zahid Syed first, just to he can give us a bit of an introduction of himself. Welcome.
Oh, thank you very much, Ria, having me here. And most people know me, but still, I've been in the business for over 23 years now. And we help families, wealthy families, business owners, professionals with tax, estate, and insurance planning. And we have an office here in Oakville. We can serve with our clients. दो तरीके से हम सर्व कर सकते हैं एक तो दे कैन कम इन द ऑफिस या जूम के थ्रू सो जूम इज वेरी कन्वीनियंट दीज डेज सो यूजुअली हम इनिशियल मीटिंग जो है वी डू अ जूम सो जस्ट टू मेक श्योर दैट वी आर एबल टू हेल्प दोस इंडिविजुअल्स एंड नॉट वेस्ट एनीबॉडीज टाइम एंड देन we go with the second meeting in the office or their office so we can figure that out that how we can continue but it's been a pleasure serving the community for almost 23 years now.
Amazing. And Baki, I think Zoom has definitely made life so much easier and so much more convenient. So all information can be, at your fingertips.
Absolutely.
Okay, so just to start off, can you tell me, what is real estate planning? Sorry, not real estate. What is estate planning and why does everyone need it?
I know anybody who has any assets beyond their even principal residence, they need estate planning. Now, there are different reasons that people do it, and I have put together a beautiful video for 2 minutes, which explains a lot of things about why people need estate planning, and that could be a financial reason, legal reasons, could be family reasons, could be a security reason, or how you can be a private, that reason. So that is the reason that estate planning is for everyone. And this video, if we can play, and that would explain in 2 minutes.
So what exactly is estate planning? Estate planning is the process of transferring wealth from one generation to the next generation, and it's important that every individual with some assets should do estate planning. To illustrate why it is important, let's take a look at the case study of John. John is 50-year-old this year, married with 2 children. Now, if one day something were to happen to John, let's say he got into a car accident and passed away, what will happen to John's assets? A few questions started to arise now. Should the asset go to wife or to the kids? Which of these assets should go to creditors? Which of these assets should the children not control? Which of these assets will get transferred to a charity? Which of these assets will be used as memories for John? Which of these assets will be owned by the business? Which of these assets will be delivered in terms of liquidation? Where will the cash flow come from? Which assets should be held in trust? Which assets should be sold? Where the money will come from to pay estate taxes? Which assets must pay probate fee and on which asset it can be avoided? There are so many questions that get raised when someone passes away. Now you will be surprised that 95% of these questions simply be avoided if John had done proper estate planning. So this boils down to the next important issue. Why do you need estate planning? Well, the need is very simple. If you don't do estate planning, then everything goes by the wishes and rules and regulations of government and local laws. There's no clarity on who gets what, and when there's no clarity on who gets the assets, we get into disputes. Estate planning is for everyone who has even a single property. So it doesn't matter about how wealthy you are. Estate planning is pretty much for everyone who has any form of asset that needs to pass on to next generation.
That was great. Thank you very much for playing that video. And I think it explains quite a bit why everyone needs estate planning.
Absolutely. I think that really does help. And especially with people that don't have a lot of information or background or just the basic understanding. I think that that would be very helpful. Um, so can you tell me how tax and insurance planning could complement estate planning?
No, again, whenever we do estate planning, again, is for could be again financial reason or legal reason, I said, or for family reason. There are different ways that you can leave your estate to different beneficiaries. Now, as an advisor, we not only look at we think there are three beneficiaries to your estate: your family, government, and charity. Okay, so a lot of people leave some assets through charity also. So these are the big three beneficiaries. So our role is how we can convert, how we can have less money going into the government and more money for the charity and the family. Right. So I'll show you a few of the things on the screen that actually helps people understand why financial reasons is very important and how they can actually double and triple their estate to their family with the estate planning and tax planning. So let me share that screen and see if we can explain them. Okay, can you see this screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, excellent. So this is how much the planning process works. So basically, when we do the estate planning, we want to make sure that you are being taken care of first. And then you can want to make sure your family is taken care of. And then you can preserve the wealth that you have worked so hard to make over the period. And also you can enhance your wealth. You can save taxes, and eventually our goal is to pay zero tax and leave more legacy for your family and less for the government. Okay, so that is the pyramid that we use. Now, again, I explained there are the different reasons that people do it: financial reasons, legal reasons, and even personal reasons. For example, if you have a business that you want to give to one of the child, but other child are not interested, which is we know that that's what happens, then how are you going to compensate those children? How you are going to divide that estate into that business into three pieces, because the business, as you know, a lot of wealth is stuck with the inventory and everything. So we figured out, and we show the ways that other kids also can be it'll be equal and fair to them, and one child can get the business and the legacy continues. Now, of course, when we do the planning, we show the people there are three kind of assets that you have. One is called tax deferred assets. That means people have RRSPs, they have pensions, they have some of the registered assets that they hold, but they don't know when it goes to their children, almost 53% can go into the taxes, because every penny part goes into the part of your total assets, and that you can roll over to your spouse, but beyond that it has to be deemed sold day before death. उससे बाद में जो भी tax आएगा वो उस पे 53% tax लगेगा. So that is one part that people hold. और काफी लोगों को ये idea नहीं है कि that is a huge tax problem. Half of the money government owns it, और half of the money जो है वो आपकी family को जाएगी. फिर आपके पास दूसरा एसेट जो होते हैं वो होते हैं टैक्सेबल एसेट्स. टैक्सेबल एसेट्स मीन के आपको उस पे टैक्स देना, जिसमें कमर्शियल प्रॉपर्टीज हो जाती हैं, रेंटल प्रॉपर्टीज हो जाती हैं, बिजनेस हो जाता है. सो एनीथिंग दैट यू होल्ड इन दैट एसेट्स, उसमें भी 25 to 47% will go into taxes at time of death. Very, very important things people to know. Remember those houses जो हमने buy किए हैं cheaper and now they are so expensive. तो वो जो सारी gain हुआ है, that is all capital gain. So that means that's 25% to around 27%, I would say, would go into taxes. The government is just waiting for that tax to be done, and nothing will go to the kids tax-free on those assets of the rental properties, of business and everything. So everything deemed sold day before death. Now, the last is zero tax. So that's mean these are the few things that are tax-free. Which is could be a tax-free saving account. Lottery, if you are lucky, agar aapko lottery win karte ho, that's also tax-free in Canada. Principal residence is tax-free. But a lot of people don't know that life insurance is also tax-free. So there are the rich people buy these kind of assets a lot more because they know these are the tax-free items that can be. So what the role is basically moving some of these assets into this and making them tax-free over that period and grow them here tax-free. So for example, if move some of the money into TFSA, whatever happens with the TFS will be tax-free. If you move some of the money from here to the life insurance policy and जो भी उसमें growth होगी because they are dividend paying policies, permanent policies, it would be tax-free. It works exactly like your tax-free saving account. There's no tax to be paid on this particular. So it's an asset class. इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि you are just moving the money from here to here. You are not really paying anything for extra for the premium, and you are just moving it and making it tax-free. Second reason that you have this is what called liquidity. Because nothing, as we know, nothing goes tax-free. The government wants their piece of pie first before you can allocate anything. So if you have a liquidity and money in hand, you can pay the tax, whatever it is, and have everything as is going to the kids. For example, आपका business and now you have to pay $1 million tax on that. How are you going to get that $1 million? You gotta have either some tax-free money somewhere, or you gotta sell the business, or you gotta take the loan. Now think about the owner died and who's gonna give you a loan on the business. Same thing with if you have rental property, that's generating rental income. Are you gonna sell the property? If we have the money, we can pay the tax, get as is. Why kill the cow when it's giving the milk? Right? So that is how we will look at that. So that is the reason we do a lot of, and just to give you an example, this is what the situation is. People pay, current situation, they pay a lot of taxes on their death, not only during their life, also a time of death. Our role is basically eliminating both taxes and passing on to the family most tax-free. And here's a little bit quick example. For example, if somebody had 100,000 in taxable jar and they had for 10 years and they are growing around 6% rate of return on their investment. So at time of age 85, they would have only $22.5 million. But if we move this money into the tax exempt insurance policy, same for 10 years, the family would have almost $5 million at age 85. So we double their estate by just moving from one place to another place. Right? So, and the liquidity is right there. So cash value is there whenever they need for any investment purpose, retirement purpose, any emergency purpose. It's like equity in their policies. Equity, जैसे आपकी घर में होती है equity, same you have equity in the policy and you double your estate for your kids. This is how you are going to basically play smartly this way. So now even you can have retirement income. So if you have that money and you want retirement income, you can get a retirement income more with this policy, but also how you fund it. Again, जैसे मैंने explain किया, there are three ways to fund it. You can reallocate the assets. You can basically use your own money. You have extra money to pay for it, or you can even borrow the money to buy these policies. Very, very important that we understand this factor, that there are three kind of assets and we have to look at those assets, and in estate planning we want to make sure that you leave more for over that next 10 years area. There's $1 trillion. $1 trillion is going to be transferred from one generation to the next generation. And imagine that even 30% of that goes to the government. It is unreal that how much, and in the business sense, it actually goes more. There are some of, we actually had a client, he was physician, and when we did the planning, if he would have not done any planning, the 69% of their assets in this corporation will go into taxes. This is called double taxation. We did the planning and we were able to reduce to 22%, right? So it is how we help families achieve and leave a more legacy for them, for their family, rather than, you work for all your life. You want to make sure that you plan properly. So that was the estate planning complementing with financial planning.
And that's, again, very interesting that people probably don't realize how many different types of taxes there are. And, we all work so hard कि हम, अपनी life में सारी planning करते हैं, savings करते हैं कि हमारे आगे बच्चों को जा सके, and it can be put to the right use. So the fact कि आधा जो है वो या इतना सारा जो है, it goes to other places that we had not intended. It's really great to have your services ताकि पैसे सही जगह पे जा सकें.
Absolutely. And we can leave a legacy because we came in this country and we built something we want to pass on to our children properly, right? So that's eventually the goal is. So this is how we help. And, our office is, again, I'm going to share my phone number. It's 905-624-0008. 905-624-0008. And if you go to our YouTube channel, which is oroojfinancial.com, aroojfinancial.com, Orooj Financial YouTube channel, we put together some 2 minutes videos for each, like case studies. Okay, Ria ki ye situation hai. So Ria wanted to do this. This is what we do for Ria and how we are able to help her out. So watch those videos. Maybe they would help you to analyze, ye meri bhi situation yahi hai. I didn't do this, right? So this is how we are going to educate people to do the right things for their family.
That is great. Thank you so much. And I'm sure बहुत लोगों को benefit होगा इससे. And I'm sure a lot of people will be reaching out. So thank you so much, Zahid Syed, for joining us today. And once again, for all of our viewers, this is Zahid Syed with Orooj Financial. If you have any questions with estate planning, definitely do reach out. Zoom पे भी consultation है, in person भी in Oakville. And of course, all the contact details were at the bottom of the screen as well. So thank you again so much for joining us today. And this is Ria Khan with Y Media. And hope you guys have a great day.
Thank you. Take care.
The biggest South Asian media group, Y Media.